Yeah.
Cash flow on the beat.
You know what this means.
We in the building.
We're in the building again, baby. Cocktails and conversation.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Your boy, Yusuf Muhammad.
It's your boy, Tim Hargrove. Dark Shining Light. Nuba up in the house.
Yes, Yams Curation. We own this, man. I like this beat, man.
Man.
It gets me excited every time I hear people like, you got a goofy laugh. Yes, I do. But guess what? Think of my signature clap. You know it's me. We in this mug.
We gonna get somebody freestyle on this one day.
I was gonna do that today. I was like, almost hit 16 with it. That's it, man. I can't even hit 2.
Don't nobody want these old school beats. I get this. My name is Tim, and I'm not here to say.
Yo,
nah.
Licky Licky.
That ain't it.
That ain't the bars we want for this, sir. I need you to do it. Need you to stop. So we here again this week, man. This is always beautiful, man. Thank God for the opportunity just to
be here,
to be here, man. So we here. We're moving towards the summer, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Summertime
fine.
It's getting warm. People breaking up. I don't need a place to stay no more. It's hot.
It's hot. I can bounce around.
I'm gonna wear what I want to wear.
Hobosexuals, as they call them. Hobosexuals.
So if you're wondering why the person you was with you broke up, it's the weather.
It's the weather. It's not you, baby. It's the weather. So with that being said, today's topic of conversation was a recap of my week.
Yeah.
So, I'm careful even how I'm saying this one because the person probably listening, but it is what it is.
You know who you are.
Yeah. So don't be upset.
Whoever you may be.
We changed the names of the guilty to protect them. I just don't use names. So the idea for this week is regret. Kind of a part 2 to the missed opportunities, but in some ways a different aspect of it.
Yeah.
The regret. The glow up from the regret is more of the aspect.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So let me put this in perspective for everybody. So I was talking to this young lady this week, and she was telling me about how she was with this gentleman, and she loved him, and she was all enamored with him, and she got pregnant, and then right as soon as she had the baby, a few weeks after, he left.
Skirt.
It's gone.
Hit the gas on it.
Right. Yeah. And then what she did was she said she was upset, postpartum and everything. And
should be.
Yeah. And then she said, then she woke up one day and just said, fuck it. I'm here. And then what did she do? She went to working out.
Mm-hmm.
She went to getting herself mentally, physically, spiritually back in order.
Oh, yeah.
And that glow up came.
Oh, that is.
And so what it made me do was just think. These sisters online, these in social media models. Shout out to them. I love most of them. Beautiful sites.
Mm-hmm.
But when I get to know them personally and not just like, personally, I get to talk to people. And when you're talking to them, a lot of them have the same background.
Yeah.
They were doing something over there, and it wasn't nothing to do with social media modeling. They were just living a normal life, just normal life. And they got with some dude, and the dude wound up messing them over. And then they bounced back, started working out, went to school, did everything they were supposed to do. Now all of a sudden, look at the glow up on them. Yeah. And I was like, man.
Go, girl.
Soul sister, soul sister. So it just started making me think, as you say, again, the missed opportunity. And sometimes, as we said in the conversation the other day, that some things are meant to happen to force you to make that move.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. A lot of things, and, we got social media and all of that, but honestly, I can't speak on a woman's behalf.
I can't either.
But we meet a lot of people in life. And a lot of us have been someone else's regret. You know what I mean? The thing about life, especially when it comes to yourself, is when someone is doing something, when you're in that position where you are, you know, I guess motivated to have that glow up. But the thing, what I've learned is it's not a destination. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people be like, oh, well, I can't wait till I get to the summertime. You know what I mean? Wait till they see. But that stuff never lasts, because after you hit that mark, you're finished. So a lot of people tend to go down after that. You know what I'm saying? You ever see people who had hit that peak or they hit that target weight, and then it's like a diet, right? They go, oh, okay, well, they don't work, because once they get to that target, they've hit, you know, they had the summer in Cancun. You know what I mean? They stunt on their ex.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the thing about life when you are bossing up, glowing up and all of that stuff, the thing is, what is your mission? You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
It's what is your mission? Who are you doing that for? Or is it for, oh, this is for me? Then the for me part is the God in you, right? The I am. It's a state of being. It's a state of doing. There is no destination. That's how you are until you die. And the thing is, a lot of us have to realize that we're a constant work in progress. It's a constant thing. It's like the heart doesn't stop beating. The heart doesn't go, well, I've met my maximum goal. I'm good. No, the heart continues to beat until it's time to die. The brain continues to function until it's time to go. You know, and that's the same way the sun's just going to keep on shining. You know, and that's the way that we should live our lives. A lot of people have a regret in something, you know, the things that we regret. And I look at it like, well, if you have a regret, it's because you weren't living to your fullest. And that's a constant thing. If you are extremely you in everything that you have, when you're giving your all and doing your best and doing everything, there's no regrets, because you were yourself and who you were at that time at the maximum, and you've done everything that you could. You prepared in every way, and you have to recognize that.
I agree with that one.
For a lot of us, we know we wouldn't shit.
Right. I agree with that one, bro.
Let's be honest. Some of us were not who we, and I don't mean to say that you weren't anything, but you know you weren't.
Yeah, you weren't shit though.
You know what I'm saying? You weren't doing what you were supposed to do. And so out of who you are comes those things. And you go, oh, I regret doing this. Well, the thing is, you weren't prepared to do what it takes. You weren't thinking that way. You weren't doing that way. Your character wasn't right. And so, but we have to be careful not to rest in our laurels, because some of us are doing very well. However, complacency is right around the corner. It don't take but one time not to go to mosque. It don't take that one time not to go to church. And then next thing you know, we see you on Easter with your polka dot suit on. You know what I'm saying? We seeing you when you're not doing what you're supposed to do. It don't take but one time to be lazy. You know, we know that having children. Okay, you finna take a shower right before you go to bed, period. You're not finna get into bed
funky.
Because if you don't take a bath that one night, it's going to turn into a habit, which is going to turn into character. And that's a reflection onto yourself. And the same thing is when you grow up, as an adult, you become your own parent. You know, a lot of us, if you don't learn how to parent yourself well,
boy, that's deep.
You know, I heard something that was very profound, and I'm gonna just take it from, because I saw this clip. And they said that you are the person that who you are as a child would be comfortable with. And that hit me like a ton of bricks. It's like, man, the child, like...
Hold on.
This ain't profound. I stole it. So this ain't profound.
So was that a question or is it a statement?
It's a statement. The person that you are now is the person that the child version of you would be comfortable with.
I would also turn that into a question too. Just to pose it. But are you?
Exactly. That is. Because a lot of people aren't. There are people who are in the world who have become something that terrifies them. And see, that can give a regret if you're not living who you are authentically. If you're not being real with yourself, if you're not the person that you know you're supposed to be. Because a lot of people, and it's not so much as, oh, I'm doing this thing and I'm doing that thing. You have to be, I guess, stoic, especially men. A lot of times we take our emotions out of certain things, and we think logically. And a lot of people say, well, I just want to be me. But at some points, sometimes we go into some meetings and we have to show up as a character. We have to show up as a version of ourselves.
Me ain't always good enough.
Well, the thing is, the me that everyone, first of all, the authentic me is reserved for a select few.
That's
You
it.
understand? I'm authentic always, but the pure, unadulterated
That
person,
blue magic version.
you know what I mean? That person, that innocent person, you know what I'm saying? That absolute person is only reserved for a few people who actually get to see me intimately.
That's right.
But going back to regrets, a lot of people regret things because they're thinking too much on the past.
I'm gonna jump in. I've been quiet because I just wanted to hear this. Like, it's just, the thought was a thought that I had earlier, but now you're expanding it, putting a little yeast on it, make it grow, putting some baking soda in it. We ain't cutting it down, but we making it a little better. So, spread this out. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then keep breathing. So, my father, again, I quote my favorite man. My father told me, so when I was younger, when I first had my son, and, when you first have your child, oh, I'm doing this for my children. I'm doing this. You're thinking you're saying something intelligent and profound. And it's like, yeah, I'm doing all this stuff for my child. And my father, he always lets me just talk shit. That's what it means. He'll listen and be like, okay. Then once he finally gets tired of it, he'll hit me with a question and walks off, like I always say. So the question this time was a statement. Son, you have to do things for yourself. Because if you're always doing something for someone else, what happens when that someone else dies? Or something to them? So he said, your son, if you're doing all of this stuff that you're amassing for your son, and what happens if your son gets hurt or something tragic happens to him tonight? Then what do you have left? What is your motivation to do it for? Right, son. So you have to do these things for yourself. Everyone else gets to benefit from it. But you have to do it for yourself. The motivation of yourself will keep you moving. Because if you get doing it for yourself, you're doing it for your wife, that morning your wife decides to wake up and cheat on you. Now you're pissed off. You don't want to get up and move no more. You're doing it for the school, and the school gets blown up. Got no reason to keep doing all this stuff no more.
Exactly.
You're doing it for whoever, but you're doing it for reasons outside of yourself. So though your reasons are pure, they're not in its purest form. So the regret is what? And there's, again, curving back to what I was saying in the beginning about these sisters. They did. And I love women, period. And I'm saying it in the way I'm saying it because, yes, I did. I say love women. I love women. Women. No. I love women because the woman, we're taught she is earth. She is a multiplier. What you give her, she gives back to you. You give her a house, like they say, she gives you back a home. You give her a seed, she gives you back a human. You give her a shit, she's gonna give you back hell. So everything that the woman does is a reflection and a result of what you give to her. And the reflection and the result that the men don't like of those of us who have, say baby mamas, but that's what they are, the children of our mothers that are no longer with us, let's do it politically correct, is that once they leave you, then you see all of a sudden, damn, she done glue up. She blew up. What the hell? The glow was, why didn't she do all that when she was with me? Because you weren't giving her the life.
Yeah, speak on it.
That she needed to do it. Why you didn't motivate her?
Yeah.
Like, I look at Adele. That's a That's a nice looking woman, period. Even when she was, her and Jill Scott.
Yeah.
When they were voluptuous. Yes. Good Lord, yes. But what happened? They met Hurt. Adele's Hurt gave us the Adele album that everyone loved. There's a fire, whatever it is. But that's the regret that we got.
Yeah.
And look, the glow up from that.
Yeah.
And then the glow up again. Now, look, she done lost all this weight. She looking like a whole new person. Got the young dude, and she's just living her good life.
Yeah.
Jill Scott, anyhow.
Man, let me tell you.
Hey, Jill, holla at your boy. But Jill Scott is beautiful. You look at how she has matriculated over the years. Remember that first album cover that she had?
Yeah.
When she was kind of just, I don't know if she was hiding or what she was doing, but from that shy Jill Scott to where she is now, the men that she's had between those time periods,
and the regrets that they have.
Right, the regrets that they have of not doing whatever, the regrets that she may have. But even though she says, I don't regret being with my child's father, I have a beautiful son. I love her music. So she says in one of her albums, all these regrets, the missed opportunities that are coming from them is what we're dealing with right now. Because I want to deal with us as men. Because again, I can't speak for women because I don't have the parts.
we can speak on that because a lot of men. Let me tell you something. We'll come in from both angles. There we go. So for a man regretting being with regretting, I'll say mistreating a woman. And the other thing is regretting choosing the wrong woman. So there's two sides of it as men when it comes to relationships. And so a lot of men, first of all, men said, well, I invested in this girl and I gave her this, that, and the other. Yeah, but it can't just be just any female.
That's
anyone with female parts. That don't mean anything. It's a difference between having a female being and a woman. You understand what I'm saying? I remember the title of lady. That was a title. That's a title.
That is definitely still one that's not even used nowadays.
We go to Psalms 31. The woman that you want is exceptional. She is, where's my Bible at? But she stands out amongst all women, and she's about our business. And so many people, he pulling out their Bible. Turn to Psalms 31.
Turn to the good book.
I want to pull this out because this is something that a lot of people are missing. They want this extraordinary woman, right? But first of all, they don't know where to look, and they don't know what they're looking for. Here it is right here. Ooh, this is some small white. Okay. Here it is. Let's go to Psalms 31 and 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? Her price is above rubies. The heart of her husband. You see the key of that? Not the heart of her boyfriend, not the heart of her boo thing, not the heart of her
sneaky
hookup,
link.
Her sneaky link, whatever y'all want to call it. But the heart of her husband doth safely trust in her. And here's the thing. A lot of us men regret trusting in someone who was not a virtuous woman. They weren't a wife. See, the thing is, a lot of us are looking at girlfriends and not finding wives. And it's a difference between a girlfriend and someone who operates in the state of wife. You understand what I'm saying? And so we trusted people who never should have been trusted. And I know there are women who can and couldn't definitely relate because they saw this male who was an adult, but he wasn't a man.
Come on.
You understand what I'm saying? It's a very big difference between a man and a male. And what it is it's the character. It's the discipline. It's the what I won't do. See, a lot of people want to live their best life and they want to try everything. But the person who is of value is the person who will not. And that gives them more open to the things that they will do, the things that they have to do, the things that they're supposed to do. It's the things that I say no to. So while you're partying, they're not regretting that I didn't party because they have dedicated themselves to their character, and it's positive time. Let's go on.
Keep reading, brother, because I'm just loving this tonight.
Who can find a virtuous woman? Her price is above rubies. Her heart doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Let's go ahead and speak on that, right?
Go ahead.
So she's doing good to him. She's not speaking down to him. She speaks life to him. She's not having vindictive ways. She's not withholding her sex. She's not withholding her virtue. She's not withholding her strength. She's not withholding her thoughts. Now, this is a husband now, because a lot of women will say, well, he got it. No. If you're a wife, that means that you have chosen a worthy husband. So let's not even go to what the men need to be doing. What we're saying is a man that is of worth, a man that is of value, a man that's worthy to be called husband because he made you wife and because he's a person of character. So this is the woman who is the equivalent of her, right? She's virtuous. And this is a woman. See, a lot of men meet this woman and they want a man. You understand what I'm saying? They didn't know that was a ruby. You ever see a child play with jewelry? They don't know that this is a precious stone.
Not at all.
They think it's a toy. They think it's going to be trifled with. You ever see somebody who was given a car and they didn't earn it? They don't respect it the way. You ever see somebody who was given money and they didn't earn it? Who was given a position? They weren't ready. They don't know what they have because they don't understand the value in it because there was no work toward it. A woman who is of value, you're not just going to get anything for her. You're going to earn everything. Same thing with a man, right? A man of value doesn't give away his strength. You have to earn his trust. Same as a woman. She's not just because you got a nice smile, you got good teeth, your hairline intact, you got muscles and you got abs. That don't impress her. Just because you got money and you have prestige, that doesn't impress her. She's looking to earn different things and different aspects of her, right? So this is this virtuous woman. Let's go on a little bit. I'm telling you, man, she's bad, man.
Go ahead.
She's bad. Let me show you something. Okay, so this is what was cool, right? She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and give meat to her husband, to her household, and a portion to her maidens. Let's stop right there. Now, this is where a lot of women get stuck, right? They're bringing in, see, this woman, when they say she's bringing in the wool, this means she has her own business. It's not just what she's doing with her husband, but she's about her own business. She got a job. She has a business. She has her own. And what she brings in, it's like she's like the merchant ships. You can always depend on her going out, making a life and coming back. But she shares with her household. And a portion of that she gives to her maidens, meaning the people that serve under her, everyone is benefiting off of what she's doing, meaning she's trustworthy. She's a woman who's about business. And this is what a lot of women, they go, oh, well, I make my own money. But are others benefiting off of what you're doing?
Besides those airline tickets, those hotels,
the red bottoms,
and them clothing,
the red bottoms, right?
Yeah, they're benefiting,
trips.
right? But are you giving back? And the reason why, as you all are listening to this show, people, this is kind of a sub-context, side note type thing, or conversation right here. So as I've been doing the show, people have asked me over and over, why did you choose Tim?
Hey, man, that dude crazy.
No, it was just, why Tim? You know, everybody, why did you choose Tim? I said, when you listen to the show, you will start to see why I chose this brother. Because, yes, we are two different backgrounds, period. Like Muslim, Christian, workout. I don't know about me working out. Military, non-military, community activism, and a brother who's in the church and everything. We're similar, but we are opposite worlds. But as I'm sitting here listening to them, all my friends who know me personally, they're sitting here like, this nigga sound like Yusuf. He's literally said everything I've told somebody before about my biggest, what I say a lot of times to my sisters is that over the years, as you look at women, things have changed.
Yeah. And
the commodity of exchange I'm regarding. And it used to be respect was number one. That's why the word lady was being used so often, because you're right. There's a female, there's a woman, then there's a lady. Exactly. And the lady is the highest regard of what you want to be called.
You had to earn that.
You had to earn that as a lady right there. Right. Charm school and everything, or etiquette school. So it's a difference between the two. But we went from respect to money to attention. This is in our generation right here. Wow. Because when we were children, it was ladies and respect. By the time the 90s hit for us, we were in our teens, whatever. It was about money. Everybody wanted, you got to pay me this, you got to pay me for that. Now, with the social media epidemic, it is about attention. So many of the women want attention online. And I can't even say just women no more, because now men, we're all on there dancing, TikToking.
The same stupid
stuff. What
are
you doing? So the thing I tell the sisters I was talking to is that it's a difference between quality and quantity.
Exactly.
You can have every nigga in the world trying to get at you. You have one man trying to give you the world.
Exactly.
What's more important? You have all these Negroes trying to chase you just to get in your drawers, and you got one man who's going to say, look, you know what? Hold them. Let me get to know you first. Then we get married. And then we can figure out everything else. Because the reality of it is, going back to the conversation with my father, I said before, makes you do one thing. Come.
That's it.
Then what? Once you've met that immaculate output, then what?
Let's be real, man. Look, I had a mentor, Mr. Johnson, man. I was a student ambassador to Russia back in 2000. Fresh, 18, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed.
Oh, bushy-tailed.
And he was in his 80s. And here I am, and I'm 40 now. So I remember him, he was looking at my hands, and he was looking at his hands. He was like, man, it's a blessing to be young and have strength. He said, but he said something that I heard my father say. And when he said it, it was as if I was hearing it from my father. And my father, who I have his first and last name, he would always say, the young man has the strength, but the old wise man knows the way.
Yes.
He said, but if you have a young man that has the counsel of a wise man, you have a powerful man. And he said that, and it hit so hard. But to go into what you would say, he would say, look, women can be your strength or your detriment. He said, but you have to decide who you're going to be before you deal with women. Because if you're smart, you'll deal with a woman. Women are everywhere. But the woman, who can find her? He said, you know what? You can jack your dick and catch a what? A nut? A nut ain't nothing. He said, because plenty nuts catch nuts and catch hell. You understand what I'm getting at? And so a lot of us men have looked after a nut and we got a squirrel, and now we sitting up there looking stupid, which regards that brings regrets. Because we weren't thinking. We weren't being who we are. And a lot of that, a lot of men's downfall is the most beautiful thing that God ever created. And that's a woman.
Man.
That's a woman. A lot of the reason why we build and the reason why, because we need each other. That's the whole thing. We need each other. But the thing is, who is it that you need? The first thing before any of this is you need God. no matter who or what you are, or what you think, or whatever you want to call God, my higher self and all that, you need him. The thing, I don't care what you call sunshine, it's still sunshine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So once you're solid in who you are and whose you are, then you have to understand who you are and how it pertains. And so that's that next level. It's like, okay, I got God and now I got me. I understand me fundamentally. The dark side of myself, the light side of myself, my strengths, my weaknesses, and I'm reinforced. You just said level 1. Now you find that person, that woman, right, as a man, that one, that virtuous one, that one who can rise up at night. What does that mean? When she get up at night, that means she's preparing for the next day. She's a thinker. She's that one. And it's not that she completes you. I don't need no incomplete person. I'm not an incomplete man. But what I need is what they call that interpersonal thing.
What you need is your better half.
It's more than that.
No, I'm talking about in regard. No,
Yeah.
It's more than your better half. So we're taught as Muslims that half your religion or half you is your wife. I'm saying it
I hear
off
what
right
you're saying.
now.
Like it's like a yin and yang.
Yeah, right. You can't be a full man if you don't have a wife, not a girlfriend.
Man, what you talking
not
about?
a boo thing, not the sneaky link, a wife.
Yeah.
And this is when I talk to brothers in regards to being married, is that I respect marriage more than I respect the girlfriend and boyfriend. Because with the girlfriend and boyfriend, you have no commitment.
No.
There's no concreteness that makes you say, I have to work this out. Mm-hmm. The regret is never really regret because all you're doing is regretting the time that you wasted. When you're in a marriage, the regret in the end is becoming that most times we did not work this out. Mm-hmm. We did not try to figure out what was inside of us that was messing this up. Or was this just a bad relationship? Mm-hmm. When you have a marriage, the commitment is there. Yes, you can go to the courthouse and get all that stuff annulled and wearing off real quickly. But think of the investment that you've made. Mm-hmm. You have bought a house. Y'all got cars. Y'all got business. You got children now. You have all these things that you've built and amassed. Now I have to sit down and honestly sit with myself and say, why am I not this woman that I married however long ago? What is different between her than now that I want to get rid of her?
You know what? To really put it in perspective, when people say, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do... If you're a person that's about your business, right? Yeah, our agreement is really cool. You know, I'm glad we shook hands on it. But let's write out this contract.
That's it right there.
Let's go sign this. Let's go get this,
let's get
notary.
This notary put on this mug.
And it's the same thing. Because a man without commitment is just talking trash.
Oh,
you understand? It's just garbage. It's in the wind, like the word says, vapor. It's toil. It's nothingness, meaningless. Because my words can be spoken, and tomorrow you can do like what the cops do. Oh, I don't recall. You go show up to court. Oh, he did this. Oh, I don't recall that. Mm-hmm. I don't recall that. But hard evidence of what you've committed to.
Or a videotape.
You know what I mean? That's hard evidence. You know, you can't be kind of pregnant. Hard evidence.
Well, I think I'm kind of pregnant. No. It is or it ain't. What you is. So, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's the thing what we're saying with that solidness. And a lot of us have not been solid. You know, I'm glad that we talking about this because when a man finds what he wants, and you are a man, first of all, you understand that you have a legacy to build.
When a man findeth a what?
A wife.
He findeth a good thing.
And here's the thing. As men, the number one thing that determines how great you do in life is the partner that you choose, is the wife that you choose. They look at that on all spectrums. And then we have to look at it. Okay, so a lot of us have chosen good wives. Who were we in that point? You know, for the men who've chosen a woman, and for the women out there, you with someone and you know that you're a woman of caliber. it's one thing to think something, but to know who you are. The first thing is when you know who you are, you will not accept less than what you are. It goes hand in hand. A chef will not sit up there and settle to work at McDonald's. He's a chef. He'll do what he has to do, but eventually he's going to be in that restaurant because his skills are beyond McDonald's. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
If you are a driver, you're just not going to be able to sit on the bus. You know who you are. If you are a dancer, you can't just sit in your seat while the music is going.
Happy feet over here.
You understand what I'm saying? So you are what you are. And a lot of us regret because we knew what we could do. We knew what we were supposed to do. We knew who we were supposed to be with. We knew about our commitment. But the thing is, we'll look back and go, man, if I would have, you'll never know because you didn't. And I think that what we really need to speak on is how to keep from going forward with regrets. Because one day, here's one thing. My brother, Terrence Hitman Hargrove, shout out to him.
Hitman, baby.
He said, look, we all are promised a ticket out of here. You gonna go.
Yeah.
You gonna die. We ain't promised to stay, but you are promised to go.
Yes, yeah. Definitely.
So you have to make the most out of it. You have to make the most out of it. Who you are in this moment and what you're doing, it ain't what you done did. It's what you gonna do, what you're doing. A lot of us go, you know what? I'm gonna wait for it tomorrow. No, it's today. We have a I am God, right? God lives in the state of being. What are you doing today? I'm gonna do that. No, ain't no ain't no, I might, ain't no, man, Rasul, what Rasul says, I remember when, and I used to be's
don't make no honey. That's it. Used to be's don't make no honey.
And a lot of us look on what we used to be. That ain't what it is.
That's not.
I love that phrase, what it is, because it ain't what it ain't. And it ain't what it will be. It's what it is, and that's what we need to understand. What is it right now? If you want that thing, if you want to live in that thing, if you have that thing, it's what is it right now? What is your relationship right now? What is your business right now? We're not in business to make $1 million. We're in business to provide a service. As long as people need, we need to provide. When we're not in a relationship to get married. That doesn't mean anything. We're in a relationship to build legacies, to have the companionship, and that doesn't stop.
Because we are. I'm gonna play this clip real quick. We are going into it with the wrong, I want to say definition, but the wrong intent. I like how you just said that. We didn't get in business to become a millionaire. We became in business to provide a service. If you go into it with the right mindset, the results of it produce the millions.
Exactly.
If you go into this with the idea of a marriage, of we're building a unity and a bond between us that we can start a new family, then everything grows from there. But if you don't start or embark on the right path, you messed up from the beginning.
Exactly.
So, and this is clip we talked about a great mate. This is my brother Nuri. So I'm gonna play it through here.
Your mate will either inspire you to grow into your greatness or they'll confine you to complacency. They'll either be your other half or they'll make you half of yourself. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, like, a good relationship will make you more youthful and bring out the best in you, and a bad one will age you prematurely and bring out the worst. So choose wisely. But relationship malnutrition in the sense of husband and wife means that we as men don't know how to properly love our women, and they don't know how to properly love us. So we end up suffering from a relational malnutrition. And when a human being is malnourished, sickness, disease, and ultimately death visits them. So why do so many relationships, brother to brother, break down? Why are so many relationships, husband and wife? Black people have the highest divorce rate in America of anybody on earth, 75% divorce rate. Relational malnutrition.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's like, first of all, it was the truth. But the other thing is, just like we learned how to get into our professions, right? We went to classes and we learned how to be professionals. We went into YouTube and everything else, and we learned how to prepare those good meals and everything like that.
Yeah.
We went to all kind of stuff to find the information for what we need. But we didn't research how to be who we are. A lot of us, we want the bag, but we don't want the person that we become to get it. In order to get the bag, it ain't about the bag. That's the trick. That's the trick. It ain't about the money. It ain't about the relationship, honestly.
It's not.
It's about the connection that we have. It's about who we become and how connected we are with God. And what people don't realize is why God is so important. Is God is the unmovable. It's the purpose of it all.
And that's what creates the regret that we were talking about.
Yeah.
When you don't understand the purpose, when you don't understand the divine beginning of all of these things, the relationship development, the malnourishment that happens as a result of not understanding.
Yeah.
When you don't understand the reason why you're going into business and then all of a sudden you fail because you're striving. Oh, we didn't make $1 million a day, but you just did X amount more than anybody else over the past month.
Yeah.
When you don't understand the development of the brotherhood, and again, this is what we speak from because we grown men. And I love Tim because I met Tim through Rasul. And we became brothers.
Shout out to Rasul, Mr. International Muhammad.
International, always, brother. And Rasul keeps good people around him. And when I met you, I was like, because I met with the clique, but in the clique, Tim and I just got along. We've always got along because it wasn't just about hanging out. It was about, I like you, brother. And we sat down and we talked and got to know each other. We played cards and I got my behind whooped that night in cards, but it was okay. But we were playing spades. And we were playing spades way back then. And while we were playing spades, he and I were discussing Army, Bible, and self-development. Now, we had two different partners that night because I think I was playing with... I
ain't gonna tell the whole story.
Yeah. I ain't gonna tell the whole story. But I think I was playing with Summer that night. And you were playing with somebody else. And they were looking at us both like, shut up and play. But we were having a conversation. And it was like, y'all should just be, but we can't talk anyhow. So the regret has never been anything. The only regret I ever actually honestly had was with you is that when I don't pick up the phone and be like, hey, Tim, how you doing, bro? I have my brothers that I have from college. And that's the only regret I ever have with them. It's like, if I don't see them, something happened to them, God forbid, I'm good because we've always been brothers. The only regret that we have with each other is that we don't see each other enough because we have a bond as brothers. And it's no need for a glow up after that.
Exactly.
The only glow up that happens is all of us being the result is that now is we all come together as brothers. We have a text chain and, hey, look, I got a program that we're doing for youth. You all have children that's about to graduate. I need you to put your children in it. So the glow up is the after effect of after you've been down. If you've never been down, all you doing is continue to build up from where you are. We don't have regret. Now, going back to what you were saying before of the regret, how do you avoid this regret?
Man, it's very easy. That's living life to the fullest. With some
parameters.
with some, and that's being true to who you are.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
That's the fullness of it. The fullness is the discipline. The fullness is the parameters.
That's it.
Because there always comes to a point of things that you won't do. And you know what? I believe it was Will Smith that said that, when you are with a person, be fully present. Because that may be the last time that you actually speak to that person. You don't know what happens. And the same thing, whatever you do, let it garner your full attention and let it be worthy of your time. And so that's the thing that we have to understand how precious time is. The moments are not promised to us. That's why the I am is so powerful, because you're in the moment doing what you're supposed to be doing. And so a lot of us, we slide this way and slide that way, not realizing it's those moments that we are in presence. So when we're not regretting, is that I was fully present at this time. I was fully myself, whether the decision that I made was good or whether the decision that I made was bad. I was fully into it. So whatever happened was meant to happen. Now, if there were things that we know that we should be doing and we didn't do it, why is that? Because we're not fully present. We're not fully ourselves. Mm-hmm. We're not making those decisions with wisdom. A lot of us are, man, I wish I would have invested in X, Y, and Z. Well, that's what we're commanded to do in our word, right? Mm-hmm. We're commanded. Look, you're supposed to invest in many things and not have just one thing. Mm-hmm. We're commanded to plan. See, there's a lot of financial planning in our Bibles, in our Qurans. And there's practical wisdom everywhere. When you want something, God is so powerful, right? That he allowed a thing that was spoken about in the end times, right? In the end times of the Bible, it says that, hey, in the end times, a burst of knowledge shall go forth to be around the earth, like never seen before. What more is the internet than that prophecy?
I was just saying that's the internet right now.
You understand what I'm saying? Something like that was not possible as far as what we know, at that time.
It wasn't. So the thing about, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go right ahead.
But the spiritual books is that we have been so deceived in them, is that it's supposed to be 25% history, 75% prophetic. They've changed around to 75% history and 25% prophetic. Meaning what was supposed to happen then actually never happened. We talk about Jesus speaking to the multitudes. If you take yourself out of their own religious, not to say hoopla of it, and just start thinking about things. How can a man speak to the multitudes if they had no microphones back then? Like, you ever been in a crowd? Imagine going to see Beyonce at a concert and there were no speakers.
Well, remember now, you had the acoustics of some of those places, and you could speak, you could whisper, and your voice would travel around the side of the wall, and they could hear you on the other side.
But it's still not. No, I get that, but I'm talking about like the millions.
I got you.
So when you see those things, it's supposed to be something that is to happen for you to understand, like you all
to apply it
right to self. And it's coming. We talk about. I'm trying to make sure I'm saying this in the best of ways, not killing my own Bible verses, but.
Just paraphrase.
Right.
This is the Yusuf version.
Usefully. It's just saying what happened then, not all of it happened. It is to come. And if it is to come, that means it's something that has to be done by you. Mm-hmm. If you're talking about the burst of knowledge that goes around, again, the burst of knowledge, it was not as many people on the earth back then as it is now. Yeah. So the burst of knowledge had to be talking about something in the future and what's going on. And the burst of knowledge that may be going forth may be the information that we're being put out. Exactly. It's the internet. Is whatever speaker it is that you think is doing positive nowadays. We are too busy. Sorry, I just had got hit with something myself. We're too busy living in the past. Even with our spiritual development, we're looking on the past and what happened with that man back there instead of seeing what happened is going on in the world today. As a result, this is what happens in our lives personally when we start having regret. Because you're living back, as you just said, the coulda, woulda, shoulda, why didn't I do this? Instead of saying the missed opportunities, as I said. This is part 2. The missed opportunities that happened because I didn't do this and I didn't do that. However, as Tim has said before, this is the best time to ever live in because you can get up tonight after you took your nap and says, you know what? I'm going to start that business plan.
I'm going to change.
That's it.
And the information is there. And the thing is, a lot of people, well, it's too much information. I don't know where to start. Look, do it.
Start.
Just do something.
That's it.
Do something. And God has made us intelligent enough to have discernment. And those of us who don't have it, experience will teach you.
Oh, yeah,
Life will be lifing.
All
You know
day.
what I mean? To not be afraid to make a mistake. To praise the mistakes. Praise those things because those are your teachers. It's not the fact that I don't want to make a mistake and it's not going to be perfect.
Mm-mm.
But there's beauty in imperfection.
All day.
It's beauty in your missteps because you can keep stepping. You can learn from it. It's a lesson. And for those who made that million, if million was your goal, what happens is after you make that million, then you settle.
Right.
But for those who say, you know what, I have something to do. I have a mission involved. I have people to serve. I have a thing to do. I have a mission that's inside of me that has to come out. And there in my inner workings is that. But that person said, look, I got a legacy to develop. I have someone to teach through my loins. So when I'm in my older age, I can do these things for the world. That requires me to have a partner. That requires me to have a mission. That requires me to need a helpmate. As a man, you need a helpmate. So when you are in the position, you're looking at, okay, well, what am I trying to meet? What goals am I trying to meet? And see, a woman is there, not just a woman, your woman. She's there to make it happen because you have to give her a seed so she can give you a harvest. But if you don't have anything for her to do, a mission for her to do, guess what? She's going to go about her own mission. Because guess what? That virtuous woman is still gathering her wool. She is, but she's willing with her hands.
But at the same time, we talking about not a woman, the woman. Man, because if you you can marry.
I'm gonna find my tambourine.
Hit them button. If you have just a woman in your life, not every woman is willing to accept the mission that you have in your life. Think about it. What if Abraham, Moses, Lot, all these great men of the past, if they had been with I'm gonna be very careful.
Just anybody.
Right.
Miscellaneous woman A, and miscellaneous woman B.
Right, because I almost said the name.
Well, that'd be your name. You're like,
Right. I had to be careful. I had to catch myself. So what if they were just with any woman, Sally Sue, off the corner block?
I know he ain't talking about me.
Right. Not you, Sally, but the other Sally. He would
sue him.
He with Becky with the good hair down the street, and Becky's wasn't on the same path of these men.
Exactly.
As a man, your biggest distraction in your life is your woman. If your woman is not aligned with the path that you're striving to do, think about Bill Gates. No. Let's use a better up-to-date one. Think about Amazon. Mm-hmm. What's the man's name?
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos. When you look at, everyone has seen the picture of Jeff Bezos in his garage with the Amazon sign on the corner. Now, what if his wife used to walk in there? Ex-wife. What if his ex-wife used to walk in there? Take that shit off the thing. You're getting on my nerves. You're messing in my garage. I can't park my car in here because you're doing all this stuff. Stop this bullshit.
Exactly.
Get you a job.
Exactly.
But what did she do? She said, all right, baby, I got you. Mm-hmm. You're going to do this. I'm going to continue to do what I'm going to do. We're going to bring this finance together. We're going to make this work. That is the woman.
Exactly.
Minister Farrakhan said in his role, in one of his speeches, he was talking about how we all admire this man. I love that man. I'm like, if you can see my smile when I mention that man's name, I love that man. And then he was talking about his wife one day. And he said that I thank God for my wife. She may not be the perfect, but she perfect. He said, when I meet God, I'm going to ask him, how was my wife rated to you? Because I think she's perfect. He said, because, all these women, this was young when he was like in the 80s, he made this speech, I think. He said, these women love me. He said, and a lot of these women want me. But he said, my wife, she had to be comfortable. My wife had to understand that she's not only sharing me with her family, she got to share me not only with the Mars, she got to share me with the world. Not every woman is made for that job, he said.
Exactly.
Now, he said, I'm paraphrasing, switching words around, but he was saying that a lot of women want his wife's position. You're not ready for that position.
Exactly.
Because you're not ready to share your man.
Exactly.
So you can't have any woman. You got to have the woman that God made for you.
And you know what? You hit a nail on the head. The other thing about it is you got to be the man.
Oh, God.
You have to be the man that God has for you. A lot of us are looking for something that we are not prepared for.
Oh, man.
And until you become that which God has ordained you to be, because a lot of us are not in our place. So if you are in who you are on your mission, then that's why a man that findeth a wife
finds a good thing.
Finds a good thing. Because why? Because he's in the position to find. He has a mission. The thing is, like Minister Farrakhan, he was on his mission.
Always.
A lot of people have to understand it. With Jeff Bezos, when he was in the garage, he was on his mission.
A man and a mission.
The same thing. When we have those who have a calling for the world, and they have to be on their mission. But you got to be fully committed to it. You have to have a tunnel vision, right? And so the thing that you have to achieve takes more than you. A lot of people are like, oh, okay, well, you have to build a team, right? You got to build a team. And those of us who are legacy builders, who understand that it doesn't stop with just you. How you're developing in your body, how you're developing in your mind and your spirit, that's going deep down into the gut and into the fruit of thy loins, into your nuts. Understand, because I'm not being vulgar.
He's not. He's speaking true.
Because the thing that you're cultivating is rewriting your DNA, which is manifesting inside of you. That's the seed that you are building that you need to plant onto fertile grounds. Come on, somebody.
Let me put the season on this one. Come
pass
on.
the collection plate.
Come on. So I'm going to put this in a very vague manner, and you take it how you want to at this point. So if you've ever looked at a man who's had multiple women who've birthed his children, but different aspects of his life, each child is a timestamp of where that man is at the exact point of his life. Even if you look at your child through one set of women, you could look at your child and say, well, I had this child in the 80s and I was acting full of shit. And you look at that child, he full of shit. But then you have a child 5 years later after you done got on your mission and you know what you're doing. That child is the most disciplined child you got in the whole house. Then you got another child that you were confused about how you want to make your... Every child is like you're talking about, whatever you are in your mind, it's going down into your nuts, really into your sperm for the reproduction of you, because you are putting out or emitting the light that is within you. And as men, goes back to this regret. We talk about casting seeds on, what does it say in the Bible? Throwing seeds down on dry land or unfertile land, whatever. I'm messing up the words. But it's the same thing. When you're out here throwing seeds with these random women and you have a child, and all of a sudden you get regret. The regret is that you ain't had a discipline to sit down. And now the glow up after it is now you have to figure out how to make something happen out of this seed that's been put into this ground that probably wasn't worth crap. I'm not saying that women worth crap, but you know what I'm saying?
And the other thing is, sometimes that was a great seed and you have missed out. And that child glowed up. That child had a choice of over 400 genomes that had to come through. And you missed the whole thing. You understand? There are men who are regretting, I wasn't there for my child. There are men who are regretting, I wasn't there for my community. I wasn't there for my mama, and now she's gone. I wasn't there for my friend, and now he's gone. I wasn't there for myself, and now I'm grown. I didn't save. I didn't develop. I didn't characterize. I didn't invest. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. The time is now. Young man, old man, wise man, dumb man.
All these different versions of
man. And as I preach to others, I preach to myself. The time is now. We cannot be complacent because all it takes is a moment. You know, I listened to a sermon this past Sunday for Easter. Shout out to Concord Baptist Church. He said, what a difference a day makes. One day you can be up. The next day you can be down.
Talk about it.
What a difference a day makes. And, you know, for us, it's not in the days because who knows the day?
None but God.
No man. But it's in the moments and what we do with those. It's in the tools that we got. God gave you everything you need. Mm-hmm. How do we know that, right? How do we know? I'm going to tell you how we know he gave us everything that we need. You look at this earth, it's made out of mud and rocks and material and water and land and wind. And you're listening to us on a podcast that we created. Out of all of that, mankind has found a way to make the impossible possible. You have everything you need. If you're breathing, if you have life in you, you have what you need. You can make it happen. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. My father would say, let the past be the past. Get past it. It's what you do now. It's who you are now. So either you can think about it or you can be about it. What are you doing now? Because a lot of us know what we need to do. We know who we need to be. Be it. The past is not going to do anything but help you prepare for a better tomorrow by doing it now. Young man, young woman, old man, old woman, blessed of God. Do it.
And with that said, ain't nothing much. I can't come behind that one. Ain't no point even trying to put some, bruh, that's, we out of here.
Play the music.
Cocktails and Conversations. Thank y'all for joining us again this week. We done.
Do us a favor. Look, like, comment, subscribe. Go ahead and join everything. Tell somebody about it.
Yes.
Help us build this thing up. Somebody need this. You know who it is.
All right, y'all. Be easy.
Peace.
Peace.